This is Booked for Drama, where stories burn, hearts break, the tea is always hot and never a part 2. Today we're diving into when I switched to a flip phone, the prom queen panicked about our class trip. Let's go. Chapter 1. I purposely switched to a super basic phone, one of those old flip phones that couldn't handle mobile payments. I wasn't in a rush, but Chloe, the class beauty, sure was. In my previous life, right after high school graduation, Chloe used my phone to illegally swipe hundreds of thousands of dollars. She treated the whole class to a graduation trip, and as soon as we hit the tourist spots, she led them on a frantic buying spree. It maxed out my cards and left me over $1 million in debt. When I confronted Chloe, telling her I'd take legal action, she looked completely innocent and played the victim to the entire class. Harper, even if you got scammed, you can't just pin it on someone else, can you? Are you trying to saddle me with this huge crime, make sure I never recover? Tears streamed down her face as the whole class angrily turned on me. You're so stupid for not being able to keep track of your own money, and now you're trying to frame Chloe and make her take the fall for you? How shameless can you be? Amidst the heated argument, they all ganged up and pushed me off a cliff, leaving me to die from the fall. The entire class then made false statements to the police, claiming I'd simply lost my footing and fallen. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the very day Chloe invited the class on that graduation trip. I looked at the old flip phone in my pocket and smiled. Graduation trip, here I come. Yay, we've finally graduated and can breathe easy. How about we all go to Italy tomorrow to chill out? Hearing Chloe's familiar voice, I realized I'd been reborn. The bone-deep ache of my shattered body clung to me, a phantom limb that would never heal, making me tremble uncontrollably. I looked at the familiar faces around me. No one responded to Chloe. I knew what they were worried about. They were worried if they could afford the overseas expenses. But Chloe's next lavish declaration made the whole room erupt in cheers. My treat. I'm paying for everyone's round-trip airfare and all expenses during the trip. As soon as she finished speaking, the entire class treated her like a goddess. In an instant, a thunderous wave of applause erupted, and everyone started showering Chloe with compliments. The class beauty is awesome. Chloe is so generous. Thanks, Chloe, for treating the whole class to this graduation trip. Everyone present shrieked with excitement. Chloe's vanity was supremely satisfied, and her face lit up with a beaming smile. Only I stood there, motionless, my expression calm. It was the exact same scene in my last life. Chloe, the class beauty, organized the whole class to go to Italy. But right before we boarded the plane, Chloe borrowed my phone, claiming hers was dead, saying she needed to call her parents to let them know she was safe. At first, everything seemed normal. It wasn't until we reached our destination and the class started spending that my phone first showed signs of trouble. Large transaction alerts kept flooding in, one after another, filling me with pure terror. But no matter what I tried, I couldn't stop them. I could only watch helplessly as my card was maxed out, racking up over $1 million in debt before it finally stopped. Afterward, I went to a phone repair shop. The owner checked it out and told me my phone had been infected with a virus, which was how my money was stolen. Remembering that Chloe was the only one who had touched my phone during that time, I confronted her. But she completely twisted the narrative. Tears streaming down her face, she played the victim to the whole class. Harper, I kindly invited you on this trip. Even if you got scammed, you can't just pin it on someone else, can you? Are you trying to saddle me with this huge crime, make sure I never recover? With such a massive amount of money stolen, absolute fury surged through me. Ignoring her crying, I declared I was calling the police. But they all blocked me, even damaging my phone to destroy the evidence. I was so enraged that I declared I'd pursue legal action. Ultimately, they all ganged up and pushed me off a cliff, leaving me to die from the fall. Afterward, when the police came to investigate, they all made false statements, claiming I had simply lost my footing and fallen. Because we were overseas, and because our location was remote with no surveillance cameras, the case eventually went nowhere. After I died, they pretended to be helpful, cremated my body, and sent it back home. They even told my parents I had taken my own life because I couldn't handle the shock of being scammed out of money. My parents wept uncontrollably on the spot, their hearts shattered. They kept crying, wondering how I could be so foolish, so young, with such a bright future, to end my life over just money. My family was one of the most influential families in our city. $1 million wasn't much to me. There was no way I'd ever take my own life over it. But they still managed to deceive my parents. My parents had always taught me from a young age to keep a low profile about our wealth. I had always acted discreetly, so I had no idea how that dog Chloe had even targeted me, the daughter of one of the city's prominent families. I died a wrongful death. My parents never recovered from the crushing sorrow of burying their own child, and they eventually withered away from grief. I clenched my fists, remembering the tragic events of my past life, my teeth grinding with pure hatred. But looking at the devils in front of me, I maintained a facade of calmness. I smiled. Sounds great. Thank you for your generosity. Chloe nudged my arm, acting as if we were super close. She said cheerfully, "Oh, it's nothing. We're all classmates, no need to be so polite. Just make sure you're on time tomorrow, okay?" Afraid I wouldn't come, she specifically reminded me before we split up. I replied with a fake smile, "Don't worry, I'll definitely be there." Of course, I was going. How else would I see her exposed in public? That evening, Chloe thoughtfully reminded everyone in the Snapchat group to bring their passports, pack their luggage, and gather on time the next day. The whole class actively responded in the group. "Don't worry, Chloe, we'll definitely be on time." Exactly, put your mind at ease. Chapter 2. My lazy attitude drew complaints from everyone present. I don't know why Chloe even bothered bringing her. People like that are so annoying, always slow at everything. Chloe's just too kind. I don't want to leave anyone out. If only someone had some self-awareness. She said, giving me a pointed glare. One person directly yelled at me, "Hey, can you be a bit more proactive? How can you be so shameless, making so many people wait for you? Do you really think you're some kind of princess? You're acting like a diva without actually being one." My face turned cold, ready to retort. Chloe, fearing her money bag would slip away, immediately stepped in to smooth things over. "We're all classmates, let's be more understanding. Harper is naturally a bit introverted, and what you're saying is just making her more uncomfortable. If she's uncomfortable, she shouldn't come out. Only you would coddle her, Chloe. I think someone has a thick skin. She's not uncomfortable at all, otherwise, she wouldn't have made everyone wait so long for her." Then someone suggested, "Why don't you apologize to all of us? If you apologize, we'll forgive you and let you come along." Chloe looked at me with a difficult expression. "Harper, maybe you should just apologize to everyone to calm things down." I looked annoyed. Why should I? Then I'm not going. I made a move to leave, and Chloe, panicked, grabbed my arm. "No, wait. You don't have to apologize. I'll apologize to everyone for you." Chloe turned, a helpless look on her face, and apologized to the others. But her apology only fueled their anger towards me. "I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing on Harper's behalf. Please, for my sake, just forgive her this once. Chloe, you're just too kind. You're spoiling someone like her. She needs to learn a lesson." Exactly. Just looking at her is annoying. "If you hadn't invited us, Chloe, we wouldn't want to travel with certain people." Seeing that their anger wouldn't subside, Chloe quickly found an excuse to change the subject. All right, everyone, let's calm down. The plane is almost ready for boarding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's head to the gate." Chloe energetically pushed them forward. Ultimately, they grudgingly agreed to let me come along for the sake of the free trip. I followed behind, and Chloe was overly solicitous, fussing over me the whole way. But right before we boarded the plane, a troubled look crossed her face, and she suddenly asked to borrow my phone. "Harper, my phone's dead. Could I borrow yours for a moment? I want to call my parents to let them know I'm safe." The classic scene from my last life had arrived. With the experience from my previous life, I had a plan this time. I made an excuse. "Sorry, Chloe, my phone died last night. I used it too much and forgot to charge it. Maybe you can try borrowing someone else's phone." Thwarted, Chloe's face instantly fell. Her impatient expression was obvious as she brushed me off. Fine then. After that, she didn't say another word to me once we were on the plane. The others were even more fearless, openly discussing me as if I were entertainment. I simply pretended to sleep, not bothering to engage. It wasn't until after we deplaned that Chloe became enthusiastically attentive again. "Harper, the rooms are booked. To save money, we're doing 2 people per room. You can share with me. Also, I've already planned our itinerary. We're heading out bright and early tomorrow, and if you're in my room, I can easily wake you up." I subtly rolled my eyes at her. I replied coldly, "Fine." Seeing this, the others immediately rallied around Chloe, seizing the opportunity to lecture me again. They started openly criticizing me, their voices dripping with disdain, right to my face. What is she even playing at? She's getting a free trip, and she still dares to act like that? Some people just have no manners. If I were Chloe, I'd just leave her outside the hotel. She's just taking advantage of Chloe being beautiful and kind-hearted. Don't worry, people like that always get what's coming to them. Their unrestrained chatter reached my ears, and I could no longer control myself. My face darkened, and I angrily demanded, "Have you said enough? Do you want me to get a needle and thread and sew your mouths shut?" They weren't backing down. "Go on. Who's scared of you? Look at the B*TCH, she's finally triggered." Chapter 4. I want me to get a needle and thread and sew your mouths shut? They weren't backing down. "Go on. Who's scared of you? Look at the B*TCH, she's finally triggered." A few of them eagerly stepped forward, ready to pick a fight with me. At the crucial moment, it was Chloe who stepped in again to mediate. All right, everyone, cool down. We're here to have fun. Harper sometimes doesn't think before she speaks, so don't mind her." After a few exchanges, their resentment deepened. I saw some of them huddling together, whispering about giving me a hard time. But with the experience from my previous life, I never went out alone, always acting with extreme caution. They couldn't find an opening. After failing to get an opportunity, they had to temporarily give up. But from that day on, their hostile behavior towards me became even more obvious. From the initial whispers behind my back to outright accusations, they formed their own little clique. They deliberately ignored me, put me down, isolated me, treated me like I was invisible, trying to provoke my anger and humiliate me. But I remained unfazed, treating them like thin air. The next morning, Chloe excitedly gathered everyone. "Let's all grab breakfast first. After that, I'll take everyone to the tourist attractions and do some shopping. Feel free to buy whatever you want. Yay, long live Chloe." Everyone's eyes shone with adoration, and their smiles were so radiant they could melt hearts. "Harper, come sit at my table." Afraid I'd sneak away, Chloe kept a close eye on me. She had also been the one to wake me up that morning. I casually replied, "Sure." After breakfast, everyone gathered together. Chloe had specifically hired a local tour guide to take them to the most expensive attractions. As soon as we arrived at the site, greedy expressions appeared on everyone's faces. They had no interest in seeing the scenery along the way. Each of them was impatient to get down to business, rushing into the shops to buy things like crazy. Chloe understood their intentions and generously promised, "Let's go into the shops now. Today, just buy whatever you like." She then glanced at me, her eyes seemingly saying, "Someone else is paying anyway." And I returned her gaze. The show was about to begin. We both had our own agendas, and it was a question of who would have the last laugh. Once inside the shopping area, Chloe stuck to me like glue, watching me even more closely. She picked up expensive jewelry, tried it on, and then looked me up and down. "Harper, aren't you buying anything?" I shook my head. "It's too expensive, I'm not buying anything. You guys look around first, I'll just browse over there." Hearing I was about to leave, she immediately called out to me. "Hey, Harper, don't go yet. Even if you're not buying, you can stay and help me decide what looks good." She clung to me, and unable to refuse her persistence, I had no choice but to stay. Just a second later, she tried the same trick again. "Harper, could I borrow your phone again? I want to call my parents and tell them we've arrived overseas." I looked utterly reluctant. "Didn't you just call them last night?" Caught in her lie, she scratched her head, her face flushing crimson. "Strict parents, gotta report in constantly, you know how it is." I glanced around at the rest of the class, who were almost done with their shopping, each person carrying bags and boxes overflowing with purchases. A faint smile touched my lips. I happily pulled out my old flip phone from my pocket. "Sure, here you go." Seeing it was a basic phone, Chloe's face turned instantly dark, practically stormy. She hesitated, not reaching out to take it, then blurted out, "What the F***CK? Why are you using a basic phone? How am I supposed to make a video call with this?" I chuckled, trying to sound persuasive. "Can't help it. My financial situation isn't great, so I can only afford this economical old phone. You'll have to make do, princess. If it's really no good, maybe you should ask one of the other classmates to borrow theirs." Borrow my ass. After being thwarted repeatedly, Chloe completely lost her temper. Her sharp voice attracted the other classmates, and everyone gathered around. Those who didn't know what was going on immediately started attacking me without asking for details. They thought I had offended Chloe and wanted to defend her. Who even uses a basic phone these days? It's 2025, and she's still using a flip phone. No wonder she always looks so cheap, ha ha ha. If it weren't for Chloe, some people probably wouldn't ever get to travel abroad in their lives. She takes advantage and still has the nerve to offend Chloe. From now on, she's public enemy number one for all of us. They probably thought their fawning would please Chloe. But their chattering only gave Chloe a splitting headache. Chloe exploded with rage. Everyone shut up. Whoever the F***ck makes another sound, I'll make you return everything and send you packing. Chloe usually maintained a gentle and generous demeanor. Few had ever seen her true colors. Seeing her like that all of a sudden scared everyone. No one dared to speak another word. Chapter 5. Whoever the F***ck makes another sound, I'll make you return everything and send you packing. Chloe usually maintained a gentle and generous demeanor. Few had ever seen her true colors. Seeing her like that all of a sudden scared everyone. No one dared to speak another word. As if troubles weren't enough, they started piling up. Just then, the store manager approached with a smiling face, urging payment. Miss Chloe, your shopping total for today has reached our store's maximum limit. Would you like to settle the bill before you continue browsing? The manager's words immediately displeased Chloe. She tried to hide her guilt. Forcing herself to remain calm, she looked utterly self-righteous. What's the rush? Are you afraid we can't pay? It's not like we're not going to pay you. Why are you rushing us? We still want to look around. What? Trying to kick us out? Fine, then we'll leave. The manager immediately realized his behavior was inappropriate and quickly stopped Chloe, apologizing profusely. His tone was incredibly humble. Miss Chloe, I'm so sorry. I was being rude just now. How about this? To show my sincere apology, all the items you purchase in our store today will be 20% off. How does that sound? Chloe pretended to calm down after hearing this, giving the others a triumphant look. That's more like it. And the manager was savvy enough, fearing he'd offend his cash cow again. He immediately gestured for Chloe to re-enter the store. Please. Chloe was now truly stuck between a rock and a hard place. I saw her body tremble slightly. It was as if she was frantically calculating something in her mind. I kept a close eye on Chloe, and after a moment, I finally saw her make a move. I watched as she pretended to continue browsing, but in reality, she was quietly putting the expensive items she had just been admiring back in their original places. Not only that, but she also tried to use her powers of persuasion to convince the others to put their items back too. She whispered rumors into their ears. Hey, I'm telling you, everything they sell here is fake. The others immediately looked annoyed and questioned her. No way, this is such a huge place, with staff watching and brand authenticity certificates. How could they sell fakes? Chloe pretended to be an expert, nodding confidently. They are fakes, trust me. Everyone, put your stuff back for now. When we get back home, I'll take you to a high-end store to buy real ones. The others believed her, completely fooled, and were about to put all their items back. The manager noticed the unusual activity and asked nervously, what's going on? Why is everyone putting their items back? Chloe's face turned crimson, and she remained silent. But no matter how careful she was, I never expected her own idiot teammates to betray her. They angrily and loudly scolded the manager. You have the nerve to ask what's going on? Chloe says everything sold here is fake. Nonsense. The manager was furious and immediately swore an oath to prove himself. If you find even one fake item here today, I'll eat it right in front of you. After speaking, he ordered someone to bring the authenticity certificates. Now, everyone finally believed the items were real. Chloe, who had just narrowly escaped, was once again put on the spot by her friends. They didn't even notice Chloe's evasive gaze, excitedly shouting at her, Chloe, the stuff is real. Can we get our items back? Chloe's mind was a complete mess at that moment, she couldn't even bring herself to respond. That's when I stepped forward and answered for her. No, you can't. She can't afford to pay. In my words, the crowd erupted. They swarmed towards Chloe, demanding confirmation. Chloe, tell us, this crazy woman is lying, right? You wouldn't lie to us, would you? You can afford to pay, right? Chloe's face was impossibly pale, she couldn't utter a single word. Finally, someone reacted. A few of the guys, crude in their language, yelled, Holy sh**t. You're not seriously pretending to be rich and then can't pay, are you? Then why the hell did you trick us into coming overseas? No matter how loudly they questioned her, Chloe remained rooted to the spot. The guys became even more certain of their suspicions. Damn it, this B***tch really can't pay. What a waste of my time. I'm never hanging out with this cheap girl again. Come on, let's go, everyone. This is pointless. At this point, Chloe's usual hangers-on, who always flattered her, started to panic. They stopped the guys who were trying to leave. Can you guys just listen to Chloe finish before you go? Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Chloe wouldn't deceive anyone. Everyone, please trust Chloe one more time. They thought they were helping Chloe, but they were actually just throwing her to the wolves. I stood behind them, watching the scene, trying to hold back my laughter until my stomach hurt. Seeing that Chloe still remained silent, a few of them urged her. Chapter 6. Chloe, say something. After much deliberation, Chloe finally stopped pretending and gathered the courage to tell the truth. Yes, it's true. I can't afford to pay for this. Then, she immediately and earnestly tried to explain to everyone. But I didn't lie to you all. I just received a message that my card has been put on a spending limit. As she spoke, tears welled up in her eyes, threatening to fall. The crowd, which had just been furious, now instantly felt sympathy for her. They even started comforting her. It's okay, it was all a misunderstanding. We were too impulsive just now, Chloe, we're sorry. Yeah, Chloe, don't blame us. Just as the anger was about to subside, and Chloe seemed to have successfully dodged the bullet, fate intervened. A few of her sycophants, thinking they were being clever, blurted out, Chloe, why don't you call the bank? Maybe they can unblock it quickly. Chloe never in her wildest dreams imagined she'd be repeatedly sabotaged by her own idiot teammates. Her eyes blazed with pure fury, a murderous intent radiating from her, and her friends immediately quieted down as if they'd committed a grave error. But words, once spoken, couldn't be unsaid. These words once again grabbed the attention of those who still wanted to buy things. They, too, offered suggestions. Yeah, Chloe, call them. Or ask your aunt and uncle to transfer some more money. Your family runs a big business, right? Shifting funds should be easy for them. And I thought I remembered you saying your family also had an account at an overseas bank? If that's the case, the money problem is totally solved, right? After their analysis, Chloe's escape route was completely cut off. Her face grew paler, and she started to sway, barely able to stand. A flash of inspiration, as if she gained clarity from her momentary stumble. Her eyes rolled back, and she pretended to faint. But how could I, who held such a deep grudge against her, let this golden opportunity for revenge slip away? I stepped forward confidently. Everyone, move back. Don't block the patient's light, let the air circulate. I've studied a bit of medicine, I can wake her up. The moment I spoke, I saw Chloe's eyelids twitch. Her panicked heartbeat thumped like a drum. I secretly let out a cold laugh. Chloe, your karma has finally arrived. This time, there's no escaping it. I pinched her philtrum the spot between her nose and upper lip hard, pinching until her lips turned purple, but she still endured it, not making a sound. At this point, even her hangers-on started to feel a little sorry for her. They questioned me, are you sure you know what you're doing? If you can't do it, don't force it. Let's just take Chloe to the hospital. Sending her to the hospital would be exactly what she wanted. Of course, I couldn't let Chloe have a chance to escape. I replied confidently, no need to go to the hospital. Just wait nearby. Then, I called over a classmate who had body odor and subtly prompted him. Chloe's been so generous to you all. Now that she's in trouble, I'm sure you'd be happy to help, right? The person readily agreed, of course. I seized the chance to set my trap. Then roll up your sleeve and put it near her nose to stimulate her sense of smell. I guarantee she'll wake up in under 3 minutes. The moment those words left my mouth, I saw Chloe's expression turn absolutely disgusted, her brows furrowed so tightly they could trap a fly. The classmate, half believing, rolled up his sleeve and raised his arm to Chloe's face. I wrinkled my nose slightly, covered my own, and stepped back, saying nothing more. Sure enough, it didn't take long for Chloe to give up her act and choke awake. Opening her eyes, she exploded in a fit of rage, immediately pushing the guy's hand away. What the hell is that smell? It's worse than rotting garbage. Get it away from me. Then, her eyes darted to me, a look in them that wished they could devour me. She furiously cursed, UB*TCH. Was this disgusting method your idea? I didn't deny it. Yes, but I was just trying to wake you up. Who asked you to meddle? She sprang up, rushing towards me, intent on hitting me. The moment her hand was raised, her problems arrived before mine did. Everyone swarmed forward, eager not to miss the chance to further exploit Chloe. They immediately picked up the conversation from before. Chloe, you're awake. Are we still going to shop? While you were passed out, we picked out a few more things we liked and even tore off the packaging. You can just pay for them for us. Please, Figure out a way to pay for us, okay? Chloe went absolutely insane upon hearing this, completely abandoning her image. She let out a roaring scream, unleashing a torrent of abuse at them. Are you all sick? Have you never seen nice things before? I was passed out, and you went and picked out more stuff? Asterisk. Are you deliberately tearing off the packaging to force me to pay, thinking I won't buy them otherwise? I'm telling you now, I'm not buying anything. It's not that I can't afford it, it's that I don't like being coerced. Whoever the hell tore off the packaging, pay for it yourselves. She always talked to herself and then forced an explanation. At this point, everyone finally sobered up. Those who had previously defended Chloe now turned against her, unfollowing and stepping on her. They confronted Chloe directly. Chloe, what do you mean by that? You said you'd pay for everything on this trip, which is why we came. Are you trying to go back on your word now? Chloe just wanted to shake off this trouble and get away clean. She completely laid her cards on the table. So what if I am? Seeing the duck they thought they'd caught fly away, they weren't about to give up easily. They clung to Chloe, refusing to let her go, demanding an explanation from her right then and there. Chloe was completely driven mad. She engaged in the most intense argument of her life with them. As they argued, some of the hotheads started physically fighting Chloe. Chloe was outnumbered and outmatched. Unable to fight them off, she gradually lost her mind. She started smashing items from the store around. The few of them went back and forth, refusing to yield, and the scene became chaotic. Eventually, the manager called security guards to intervene and stop the fight. Even when separated, they continued to curse at each other. BTCH, if you can't afford to treat people, don't show off. I can afford it, but I'm not going to be a sucker. I'm not buying it, and it's going to piss you off. After the group finally ceased their hostilities, they calmed down and remembered the high compensation they now had to face. Watching my enemies, who had ganged up to throw me off a cliff in my past life, now turn on each other like rabid dogs, I felt a surge of secret satisfaction. Just as I was about to observe how they would handle the situation, I found, as expected, that the group exchanged glances, no one willing to take responsibility, each face a mask of calculation. They pushed all the blame onto Chloe. Chloe was furious, grinding her teeth. You guys also had a hand in breaking those things. Why should I be the only one to pay? With their own interests threatened, their previous false camaraderie vanished. When it was time to share the burden, not a single person was willing to stand by Chloe. Each of them attacked Chloe mercilessly. Before, you promised you'd pay for everything. So, whether it's the damaged goods or the items we unboxed and tore off labels from, you're responsible for all of it. Exactly. What does it have to do with us? You tricked us into coming here. If you hadn't said that, we wouldn't have come at all. Now that the items are unboxed and the labels are torn off, they can't be returned or exchanged. We don't care, you figure it out yourself. Come on, let's go. Hurry, before she tries to stick us with the bill. Those who had initially adored her now revealed their ugly true colors. Not only did no one help her through the crisis, but they abandoned her at the crucial moment. One by one, they ran faster than rabbits. You guys. Chloe's face changed, and a mouthful of blood instantly welled up from her mouth. After the others left, only her remaining hangers-on and I were left. Chapter 7. Those who had initially adored her now revealed their ugly true colors. Not only did no one help her through the crisis, but they abandoned her at the crucial moment. One by one, they ran faster than rabbits. You guys. Chloe's face changed, and a mouthful of blood instantly welled up from her mouth. After the others left, only her remaining hangers-on and I were left. Chloe's hateful gaze swept over me. It's all your fault, you B*TCH. All you. If you hadn't meddled and forced me to wake up, I wouldn't have to bear these exorbitant costs now. Now you pay for them. I ignored her completely, turned, and walked away. Chloe was furious, frantic, trying to stop me, but the security guards blocked her. You are the main person involved, you cannot leave. How do you plan to pay for today's damages? Even at this point, Chloe's hangers-on still believed she was rich. They suggested casually, Chloe, why don't you pay them first? We can go after those heartless people for the money once we get back. Can you just shut up? You're so annoying. We're trying to help you. Why are you being so mean to us? Chloe was having a splitting headache from their noise, and more importantly, she felt like her world was collapsing. If she couldn't pay such a large sum, she'd be detained overseas, waiting for her family to pay for her release. Her eyes darted around, and Chloe seemed to have an idea. She asked the remaining few for their opinion. How about we all chip in our money and see if we can cover this amount? Upon hearing this, the others' faces instantly turned the same shade of liver purple. Where would we get money? The only reason we stayed was so you could handle this and book our round-trip tickets home. You're not seriously telling us you can't afford this, are you? Then what do we do now? Are we going to be detained overseas too? The more they spoke, the more panicked they became, tears almost streaming down their faces. Chloe looked at the people who had once praised her with disgust. A bunch of useless trash. The manager saw that the group's negotiations were going nowhere. He approached Chloe again to inform her of the consequences if she didn't pay compensation. With no other options, Chloe simply threw caution to the wind. Fine, I can't pay this money. Go ahead and arrest all of us. Seeing that she had no more use and knowing Chloe's true financial situation, the others scoffed at her. Peeved, we're not staying with you. You stay overseas yourself. How embarrassing. I knew I shouldn't have just followed some show-off overseas. Now what? How are we going to get home without money? Our parents won't care about us either. This B*TCH ruined us. Feeling the fear of being in a foreign country with no money, no place to stay, and no food or drink, the few of them burst into tears. After a moment, they suddenly started giggling foolishly. One of the smarter ones seemed to remember something. That's right, the embassy. We can ask the embassy for help. They can buy our tickets and send us home. Yes, you're so smart. Let's go quickly. The security guards blocked their path. The hope that had just ignited in them instantly vanished. No one leaves until the money is paid back. Why, isn't Chloe here? Let us go. We want to go home. No matter how much they screamed, the security guards held them firmly, not allowing them to leave. The manager reluctantly called the police, who temporarily detained them. During their detention, the manager kept urging them to find a way to pay back the money, otherwise, they would face criminal charges. Chloe was filled with bitter regret, beyond tears. If only I had known earlier what kind of phone that B*TCH Harper was using, I wouldn't have let her pull one over on me like this. I swear, if I ever get back home, I won't let her off the hook. The other few had now turned against her because of this incident. They just thought Chloe had gone insane. They no longer responded to her crazy rantings. Unfortunately, with such a large compensation to pay, it would be impossible for her to return home for a long time. Deliberately damaging someone else's property, especially when the amount is significant, usually means at least 10 years in prison. I overheard Chloe muttering to herself through the miniature bug I'd planted on her, and I couldn't stop smiling. Chloe, get ready to face justice overseas. I crossed Chloe's name off my notebook and glanced at the others. It was their turn next. Even if they had already returned home, I still wouldn't let them off the hook. I pulled out a burner phone I'd bought from an underground market and sent text messages to the remaining people who had returned home. Playing on their love for cheap thrills, I sent each of them a "you've won" message, luring them to a secluded suburb. Chapter 8. I pulled out a burner phone I'd bought from an underground market and sent text messages to the remaining people who had returned home. Playing on their love for cheap thrills, I sent each of them a "you've won" message, luring them to a secluded suburb. The group, emboldened by their numbers, walked right into the trap, even though they knew it might be one. Seeing the dilapidated mansion, they showed no hesitation, instead, their interest piqued. They just thought someone was playing a prank on them, inviting them for a grand adventure. Someone bravely shouted, "Hello? Anyone home?" An echo immediately resounded through the empty rooms, making some of them even more excited. Damn it, who's trying to play a ghost here? I'm even more intrigued now. Since we're here, why don't we go inside and check it out? Maybe we can even film some unique content and upload it online to get views. At this, someone else chimed in, yeah. How about we just film a suspenseful short video? I think the atmosphere here is perfect for it. The few of them were bold and skilled, they decided to act immediately. They pushed open the door together and walked into the house. Just as the group was excitedly exploring, I sent in the local thugs I had already pre-positioned there. They tied them up and threw them into a van. That's when everyone realized the seriousness of the situation. They desperately slammed their heads against the car doors. But it was useless. The van's soundproofing was excellent, no noise from inside could be heard. The car's privacy was also top-notch. The windows were specially treated, allowing vision from the inside out, but not the other way around. And the vehicle was long enough to accommodate all of them. I appeared when they were at their most terrified. Everyone's eyes widened in shock. I told the driver to roll down the window. Someone immediately asked, "Harper, what are you doing here? Wait, why are you fine?" Realizing the truth, their faces turned uglier than if they'd eaten a fly. You're with them, aren't you? I wagged my finger, making an N sign. I'm not with them. They're here because I hired them. You people, back in school, you always helped Chloe bully me. Do you know how much I hate all of you? No, we know we were wrong. Please, let us go. Yeah, Harper, we really messed up. We'll never bully you again. As they clung to a sliver of hope, I ordered the driver to slowly roll up the window. Too late. Seeing my heart of stone, they started lecturing me about criminal law. No, you can't do this. This is illegal, I scoffed, a cold laugh escaping my lips. Illegal? What law? I'm not killing you. I'm just sending you all to my family's branch in Africa, arranging a little job for you so you can peacefully work in the mines there. Their eyes widened like saucers. Someone immediately blurted out, you crazy B*TCH. You're insane. We're still students. Who's going to do that kind of back-breaking work in some godforsaken place? If we ever get out of this, we won't let you off the hook. I smiled, revealing Chloe's latest update. Chloe said the same thing once, but now she and those other few are stuck overseas and can't come back, can they? My triumphant expression completely shattered their will. Everyone broke down. Their mouths hung open, unable to utter another sound. They could only watch as the car window slowly closed, until it was sealed shut, and their faces were no longer visible. After they were gone, my world finally went quiet. Their parents had reported them missing. But in such a vast world, with no surveillance and no tracking, finding a person was incredibly difficult. I looked at the burner phone the police had traced and tossed it into the water. From that moment on, my life was completely free of those scum. Years later, I returned home after getting my PhD and unexpectedly ran into Chloe again. She had changed drastically, matured. She said that during all those years abroad, only one belief had sustained her: revenge against me. How pathetic. Perhaps she hadn't had a chance to go home and see. After those scumbags went to Africa, I collected evidence and exposed everything about Chloe's father's computer repair shop. His acts of using his job to implant viruses in people's phones and steal their money. I leaked every single detail. The police raided his shop, and he's now in prison. As for Chloe's mother, I caught her evading corporate taxes and reported her. She's also in prison now. Without the support of her parents, what could Chloe possibly use to seek revenge against me? Right, she could still fight me physically. But during my PhD studies, I also took self-defense classes. So, was the current Chloe still a match for me? I didn't even consider her a threat. Go home. I'm being kind by letting you live so you can wait for your parents to get out. What did you do to them? She shrieked. I barely spared her a glance, my voice dripping with disdain. Don't blame them, blame yourself for being so useless. They're paying for your debts. You dragged them down. You demon. I'll kill you. It seemed she still didn't appreciate the chance I'd given her. Well, I guess I'll just have to send her to join her family in prison. As she lunged at me, I easily trapped her, pinning her to the ground. Then, I freed a hand and called the police, reporting her for attempted murder. The police arrived and took her away. The moment she was gone, my sky brightened. I seemed to see a vibrant, multicolored rainbow. It was like a beacon of justice, illuminating my path. Mom, Dad, this time, we'll never be separated again. The end, and that's a wrap on today's reading here at Booked for Drama. If you felt anything, rage, swoon, secondhand heartbreak, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow drama lovers. If you have any requests, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep reading, and keep the drama on the page.